Everyone, this is Bob, and this is on the Gramps blog, and I'm going to give, as promised, the first lesson in drawing. Now, the definition of art is art in the two-dimensional world is the arrangement of shapes, color, and values in such a way as to be pleasing to the eye. Now, color may be gray, but it still has values that give definition to it. In this section, I will try to show you how to draw, beginning with the very basics of how to hold your drawing implement, which is the pencil. Now, most people hold the pencil like this to write. We're not writing, we're drawing. Hold your pencil at this angle with your hand. I like to hold it in the palm of my hand, but you could have it like this and sketch, okay? I'm not going to use this pencil. It's too small for you to be able to see the lines, so I'm going to use this pencil. Now this pencil, I would hold the same way, either here or here. You can do the same with a brush. Hold it in your hand so that you make your strokes with your arm, not your fingers. Now, these will vary depending on the tool that you use. You do not hold an ink pen like you do a pencil or a brush when you're sketching. Now, try as he may, the artist cannot create the objects that he intends to refer to. Only God can truly create things, but we have been given the ability to craft things and make drawings and paintings. When you draw a tree, you have a drawing. It is not a tree, but a drawing of a tree. These things give us, this whole idea gives us great latitude and freedom. Only we can say what our tree looks like. But the artist can draw various shapes and lay on color in these shapes to represent objects that we appreciate, and that is to say, things we like. Now, we're not alone. Others like the same things we do. The artist, being limited to lines and shading or tone values, perhaps with color to depict those things in his world, real or imagined, does so that others may enjoy or share in his experience. Now, to begin, the art of drawing is a wonderful coordination of hand, heart, eyes, and mind. All this is a magnificent gift from the Lord. Exodus 28:3 and 31:6 tells us that. Excuse me. I find that sketching and painting are emotional and spiritual activities. We must endeavor to keep our minds in the correct attitude while we are sketching. That is to say that we must use proper language, self-talk. It is never a stupid drawing. It is never a dumb drawing. It may have mistakes, but that doesn't make it anything it cannot be. The language of art is about relationships. Shape against shape, light against shadow, and tone value against another tone value. Now, as we proceed, we will learn to understand all of this, and eventually we will do it without thinking very hard. There are a number of basic shapes which are readily recognized. These shapes would be the square, a rectangle, a circle, not very good, that could be an apple, a triangle over here, an ellipse, it's a squashed circle, or an egg, that could be a lemon. I'm not doing this very well, but the egg should be an ellipse with this side, one side smaller than the other. If you turn it vertical, like that, you have a face. It's easy to do. It's just a matter of knowing what shape to use. There is also this shape. That looks almost like a spider mum or something. Anyhow, that's an explosion. You see those in cartoons and comic books all the time. At least you used to. I don't know if you do anymore. Which of these do you find more interesting? I find this square very boring. I mean, four sides all the same, four corners all the same. The rectangle is more interesting, but even more interesting than that would be a parallelogram. See, it only has two corners the same and four sides different. So there are two sides different, two side corners different. That's more interesting than the rectangle. You could put a rectangle here and you have a building. It's not hard. It's just basic stuff. Now, we need to remember that as we draw, as we set up a display to draw, that sometimes we need to remember all this as we're setting up the display. Sometimes we copy from pictures, but do not become the picture's slave. Be free. Draw your own world. Now, drawing is not the same as writing a letter, except maybe mystically. You should hold your pencil differently, as I was showing you, when sketching and drawing, unless you're doing fine, intricate work. Then I would hold my pencil like I do when I'm writing a letter or actually I do the details on a drawing. For the most part, we are learning to hold our pencils like we hold a paintbrush if we're working in oil or acrylics or perhaps watercolor. Excuse me. This allows freedom of movement because we are using our arms from the shoulder down to draw. It'll also help you get better lines. You can also place the pencil in your palm like I was doing. And for straight lines, learn which way you are more inclined to get it straight. Now I know that I am not good at drawing straight lines left to right. See the wiggle? I do pretty well going vertical. I can do that's curved, see, curved. Even this one's curved. That was better. You see, you can get these lines, you practice them. And keep doing that so you find out what way you get the straightest line. Now, nobody truly draws a straight line. You use a straight edge for that, I think, and even some people can't get it right then. But practice a lot. That's called doodling. And it's important to learn so that it's important to learn which way you can draw a straight line. If necessary, turn your paper to get that straight line. Now, use a variety of line weights. I'm going to have to pull this paper down. It's just too dirty and there's too much here. You can't recognize what I'm going to do. So, we're going to use a variety of line weight. You see it starts hard here, but it fades out here. The hard start fades out. Did the same thing here. Now, faded in, I ended up here as strong. Here it's very pale. You could do grass. That's easy to do. It's just a matter of practice. Now, you create the weight by pressing hard and then lifting the pencil, or you can start out the opposite way as I did here. It's important to learn, and most people do not exploit line weight enough. Note the examples that I gave here, which show how lifting the pencil toward the end of the stroke can be used to give a grassy or fluffy effect. It can be useful at the beginning of your stroke or at the end. Control the direction of your marks and don't let your shading just follow the curve of your arm as you move it across the page. Use direction to describe your object. Follow the form or create an edge using contrasting direction in two planes. I'm going to insert an apple drawing here in a minute. A casual looking but carefully executed effective shading, everything in one direction, can also look effective. Use line direction to direct the viewer's eye or to create energy. Even randomness is often carefully considered in order to look artfully disheveled rather than scruffy. Now, art is in the mark. The marks that you make on the paper are like the notes played by a musician. No matter how good the music is written, if the notes are carelessly played, the result is ugly. Likewise, by thinking about the kind of marks on your paper, you make your idea as beautiful, as dramatic as you choose. Is it lyrical or gentle or a flowing idea? Let your pencil strokes reflect that feeling. Make them sing. Now, obtain something from your house that has a simple shape, perhaps a soda can or even a regular jug of coffee, a coffee cup. Not one of those really real nice pretty teacups, but just a coffee mug. Set it on the table near you so you can see the top a little or a lot, but you don't want to look directly down on the top just yet. Before you begin to draw, excuse me, just study your object for a minute and be asking yourself these questions. Now, this is where it gets tough. You have to talk to yourself. No, you don't have to talk out loud, but in your head. Although, if you may want to talk out loud, I like to do that sometimes. My advice is to draw at least some every day. Even doodling lines. If you're waiting at a doctor's office or you've got nothing else to do for a few minutes, commercial on TV, have a sketchbook in your lap and doodle lines, and this will make you more effective, and it is very, very helpful. I want you all to have a wonderful day, and the Lord bless you.